So I'd like to welcome Lauren and Rebecca to this video interview for the IFVP conference this coming just a month away now. So it's pretty close for us. And so I'm on this interview with Lauren Tenney and Rebecca Caldwell, who are presenting Great Meetings Come to Life at our conference. So I want to thank you each for your willingness to come and to be part of this and to talk with me about your plans. So if you could each introduce yourself and talk about your background in visual practice for a moment, I think that would help folks who are thinking about the breakout.
Awesome. Would you like to start, Lauren?
Go ahead.
Okay, so we just pass the baton back and forth, which is something that good facilitators know when they're co-facilitating. My name is Rebecca Caldwell, and I'm the co-founder of the Integral Facilitator Program and the Program Pathway, which is actually a number of offerings. And Integral Facilitation is about 4 years young, and we've been practicing and offering programs in North America and also in Europe. And we're so pleased to have made a really solid connection with someone from your community who actually invited us into his company to give some basic orienting facilitation skills to his visual facilitators. And so we're not actually coming from the community of visual practice per se, although we do use elements of graphic recording and visual. We use visuals in our work, but we're more oriented towards facilitation and actually guiding groups and meetings. So I'm the co-founder of the Integral Facilitator Program and also work in 10 directions. And Lauren is my colleague. Lauren, I'll let you describe yourself a little bit. And
okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Baton received. So let's see. My background is in facilitation training and particular working with the way in which groups can be more effective, efficient, free, and enjoyable, really, at the end of the day. And so I would not call myself a visual practitioner, although, boy, do I appreciate it, because I am such a visual learner, and anytime there is good graphic expression in recording, I absorb and learn so much better. So I'm pleased to be able to be part of this endeavor with Rebecca to actually bring more context, perhaps even for visual practitioners, into what's going on in a room when they're capturing and recording. Great. So that's what I'm excited about.
Excellent. Yeah, we have a number of folks who are doing some things on OD, organization development, and so we're really broadening people's scope out. So you're going to be a great part of that. So thank you. So what is it you're hoping to do in your breakout, and what value would somebody take away from being part of that?
Yeah, thanks for that question. So we're actually doing two things at the conference. One is a pre-conference session, which is, I think, about 7 hours long. And that's really oriented to the whole structure of meetings and how we can facilitate them from beginning, middle to end. So in addition to that, we have a breakout session, which we'd be happy to talk about. Do you have a preference, Phil, for this video?
You could do both. So that would be great.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think maybe just orienting around the full day, it feels like that's kind of an action-packed experience for people. It's really an experiential workshop. So we won't be presenting as much as working with people through iterative process and engagement and practice, giving people a taste of what it means to orient the group, to get a meeting started, some practice around conversations, and how to really orient as Lauren was saying, how to get the enjoyment out of the process of working with people, whether they're in ideation, whether they're in problem solving or reaching agreement, or if they're in a planning mode. How do you navigate that and kind of help support the group to do their best work? So our day will include that kind of practice and engagement. And I think we'll have quite a bit of similarities in terms of how people are already orienting to the metaphors that they're familiar with as they are in meetings, and then being able to apply it to the facilitation role.
Nice.
Yeah, I can add something to that, which is, a metaphor that really lands for me about what we're trying to do to support visual practitioners is to see the invisible activity and the inside of a group. And so even if there is a facilitator in the room and the graphic recorder or visual practitioner is there as a support or I'm not always sure about the configuration, so I'm interested in that. But I think seeing the landscape and feeling what's going on in the room and recognizing the tones of engagement in people, and maybe, there's an opportunity here, we're in this kind of process or that kind of process, those qualities can be translated and captured by a visual practitioner, and they can add understanding to the room. So for me, the excitement is for visual practitioners to see and experience more of what's invisible and then be able to make that visible in their work in the future.
Wow. Okay, I'm sold. I want to come. I've already signed up for another one. So.
Oh, Phil, you'll have to make a change.
I had to change. I had to talk to Donna, see if I could do it.
Yeah.
So, and so that's your work, pre-conference workshop. And can you say something about the breakout? Will it be like a mini compression of that?
Yeah, it's kind of we're pulling a module out and going deeper with a very important skill set. And as Lauren said, part of our work is making the invisible visible to people. So the breakout session is focused on one of the core facilitation skills. Can you guess what it is?
Listening? I don't know.
Very good. It is listening. So what we'll be doing is adding a little bit of integral flavor, which is helping you see more about how you listen. Who are you as a listener, and what can you pick up, and how can you tune in different ways to perceive what's happening in the group and with another individual. And this skill set it's kind of cool because it's not only, for the meetings, the formal engagements, the sessions that we're in, it's actually a really important life and leadership skill. So I'm pretty sure that people who come into this will leave with some really great insights that they can take home with them and be practicing immediately, that will really enhance their way of kind of showing up and tuning in to how people are wanting to be heard.
Totally.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I would say we've had people leave our programs, and this one nugget is something that has transformed the way they work in any situation, dialogue with their partners, with their kids. It's like, oh my God, I didn't even realize this was happening. So it's incredibly useful for sure.
Well, that's really wonderful. So as people are assessing which breakouts and which pre-conferences they would go to, who's kind of your target person or your ideal person who would say, oh, I ought to do that? So.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would say anyone who is already considering ways of extending their practice into either in the world of organizational development or wanting to facilitate some of the meetings that they're already participating in and maybe move into that role. Anyone that's in that stage of wanting to get more grounded in how meetings how they could help navigate or facilitate a meeting, that's absolutely appropriate for them. It's probably best for someone that does have experience in meetings so that you can relate to some of the kind of the orienting, the know-how of what meetings feel like to be in them. And I would imagine that might be most people coming to the conference. And so we would just welcome anyone who's interested in that kind of orientation and really keen to meet more people who are working in this domain and build bridges between the two worlds, the kind of the typical facilitation world, actually three worlds, the traditional facilitation world, the visual practitioner, and then also the transformative kind of edge of facilitation and change, and which is also a domain that we're working in. So I think that's what I would say about the full day. Lauren, would you say anything different or added?
Well, I would say that we often get asked about how important it is to have experience as a facilitator. Like, do I need to understand basics about facilitation? And obviously, our workshop is called Essentials, and our breakout session is Core Facilitator Skills. So we're intending for this to be valuable for people along the spectrum who understand facilitation terrain. And for people who are new, it's going to be a really helpful overview and map. And for people who are experienced, there's going to be practice and learning that's really honing some of those core skills. So I would say it's broad spectrum for sure.
Very nice. So, just listening to you, it makes me think of a person who maybe has been a graphic recorder and wants to become a graphic facilitator. This would probably be great for them to take.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine it being excellent and really helpful to kind of expand the mental model of, what's happening while they're facilitating.
Yeah, very good. Well, we're all looking forward to being there with you, and so I want to thank you for taking the time. And I assume that people can feel free to email you or call if they have questions ahead of time.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, very good. Well, thanks for taking the time, and we'll see you in DC not too long. So we're talking a little bit about some of the background that you bring. So Rebecca, tell us a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have, without knowing the exact number, probably 30 years of experience in facilitation in all kinds of domains at a community level, in community development, working with teams and organizations, and working across even sectors and doing intergovernmental work and large-scale strategy and change projects. So my experience is quite broad, and my passion is really around collaboration, and that's a unifying theme in all my work. So I'm really happy to bring that forward to the conference.
Good. Thank you.